What matters most in this life? What will bring you the most happiness? What will reveal to you your own capacity, your own depth of love? What will enhance your relationships and bring you a happiness that nothing else can bring you? Why are we on this planet? There is one thing that is the most essential thing in our lives, and it tends to be the one thing we overlook. And yet it brings the most power, the most beauty, and the most genuine feeling of success. That one thing is awareness. Awareness of ourselves as spiritual beings, as eternal, as gifted, as light, as divine. And this is not just something we kindle in meditation, but one of the things that can strengthen our awareness is the spiritual practice of taking several moments throughout the day, at least 8 to 10 times throughout our busy day. Moments to be silent, to go inward, and to let go of everything just to remember what's real. Take a moment now and move far to the edge of your world, away from all the dramas. Take a nice, slow breath and look out at the beauty in front of you, the calmness of the lake, the quietness of the atmosphere. And as you notice that beauty, allow it to remind you that it's just a reflection of the beauty that lives inside of you. The beauty that comes out in your own quietude. And just like that sun is shining on the waters, allow that inner beauty and light to shine onto every cell and every part of your being. Taking just a few moments to forget everything about the world in order to remember what's real inside of you. You don't have to sit for hours. Just remembering this space several times a day for just a few moments enhances our awareness in a powerful way. Just feel that richness inside of your soul. And allow yourself just for a moment to see yourself as more than just your physical form. To see yourself and feel yourself as light and as spiritual energy. This awareness also allows us to give in a natural way that is egoless and pure. In the same way that the flower naturally gives happiness, when we practice spiritual awareness, we naturally radiate a light into the world that meets the world's needs. And one of the other things that can strengthen our awareness is, in addition to taking these moments, it's also good to take moments to see others in that light. So take a moment now to think of someone that you interact with daily. And let go of seeing them just based on their physical appearance or form or the role they play. And imagine right now also seeing their spiritual beauty, seeing them beyond their dramas, seeing them in that natural, quiet, very high spiritual space, recognizing them as a spiritual being. Awareness is something that infuses our relationships, our work, and our day-to-day existence with meaning. It connects us deeply to the world, to ourselves, and to each other. And it is the one thing that brings a deep joy, that gives the soul a sense of deep success and satisfaction.
Good afternoon, everyone. Om Shanti. Welcome to Silicon Valley BRAHMAKUMARIS, Vitamins for Smart Parenting. We'll get started with the meditation. Let's take few deep breaths in silence. With every breath out, let's withdraw our mind from the hustle bustle of the external world, including our body. Let go of the inner storms, the storms of conflicts, past, future. For a few minutes, let's get some real rest for the soul that has been traveling for a very long time. scars on the face, on the body, the tears in the eyes are visible and can be fixed. But the soul that has been crying for attention, for care, the one that has been scarred with bitter memories from blockages of the past. How do we remove that pain, that scar that has damaged the soul's beauty? We worry about the external beauty, the body. We take care of the relationships and work responsibilities. But the one that is the owner, that is the actor, that is playing all the roles, that is doing everything, is neglected. The ignorance says when everything external is all right, I, the soul, is automatically all right. The Supreme Soul, Truth, says the basis of our existence, on which the entire tree of life is standing, is the soul. I cannot speak a word till the soul thinks. I cannot create anything till I, the soul, thinks and makes a decision. I, the soul, cannot forge any relationships till I feel love. So I live with a new consciousness and awareness that I will not let anything external create a scar on the inner being, the soul. I promise to take care of thyself and ensure that only positive thoughts and feelings are created. I, the soul, the child of ocean of mercy, God, emerges some of the blockages that are still sitting in my heart and mind. I forgive and forget. I refuse to have any ugly marks on my inner space. It is easy for me to forgive, and it is very hard for the child of God to not forgive. I am a smart person who forgives so that forgetting and removing the ugly scars, the bad odor of bad feelings is removed from my heart. I like cleanliness, not just externally, but internally. I want to be clean with pure and lovely feelings for every being of this world. I am love, so it's easy for me to love every being. Welcome, everyone, to Vitamins for Smart Parenting. And today is the last class on this series of spiritual vitamins for smart parenting. And today is the letter F for fear. And so we'll go over this just like we did in our last classes by really understanding the root cause of fear, the damages, and then basically what are the vitamins, and then in the end we'll have a Q&A session. So to start off with the root cause of fear, very beautifully it is explained here at Brahmakumaris that fear is basically a false evidence appearing real. So I'm just going to get the pointer. False evidence appearing real. Indeed, the root cause of fear is falsehood. Every time we are not in the awareness of the truth, and the truth is not just, the one where we say, are you lying or are you saying the truth? That is indeed one of it. But there is also a bigger truth about ourselves. Many of us don't know ourselves fully. We live in falsehood, thinking we are just this physical entity. There is another dimension to our entity, and we've talked about it quite a bit in many of these classes for the parents. And indeed, that is one of the biggest falsehood that causes fear. In general, we are also taught at Brahmakumaris that any time you lie, it's an automatic kind of like consequence that the soul faces a fear. There is a subconscious registration of fear. So many times our ego, fools us, cheats us, that how will others know, keep lying left and right. We keep lying, thinking we are trying to be nice to people. This is how you need to run in the world, be smart, be shrewd, be politically right. So we constantly lie. but we don't realize how much power the soul loses every time it lies. And I really, even like with kids also, I will not speak if I can't say the truth openly. Even with elders, if I feel the truth is going to hurt them, I will keep quiet. And I might look odd, people might judge me, but I refuse to take away the power of the soul by lying. This much you have to be in love with yourself to get rid of all of these, falsehood that we've developed, this shrewdness, this politically being right and etiquettes and all of that in name of so many things. We start lying on small, small things. Soon it becomes a big habit and it causes a lot of fear. But the bigger one, this is still a small lies that we use in our day-to-day living, lying about small, small things. But there is a bigger falsehood that we are all living in, and that is what has caused a lot of fear in us. That is basically that we live only in one dimension of our existence, that is, we are matter, this particular body. We are not fully aware that we are a spiritual being. The true identity is that I am a spirit. Every human being, every living being in this physical world is a soul. The body is just a way to express and experience life, right? In the physical world, a soul, a tiny light that is not even visible, cannot do anything. So we are here in this physical world with the physical costume. But when we attach ourselves only to that, I am this body, and then because of the body, we have gender, we get a name, we get many relations, roles, education, job, titles, and so on. Everything is associated with the body, right? I am a wife, associated with the body. Everything is related to the body. But in spite of all of that, we have a separate identity, that of a spirit. And we all know that once we leave the body, everything ends right then, right? The relationships end, objects, possessions, everything finishes. Education finishes, gender finishes, everything finishes when the soul leaves the body, and that body is declared dead and it becomes soil. We all know it. And why does the awareness of this body generate fear? I think we've talked about this, but just to kind of summarize it in this class, automatically, if I think I'm only matter, fear of death, it's the biggest fear. Search in Google, fear of death or fear of a close one, losing a close one, death of a close one is the biggest fear majority of the world is living in. And it's mainly because of not realizing that nothing can destroy me. I'm an imperishable eternal energy. And the more we stabilize in our true identity, fear of this matter not existing finishes. And when we think of ourselves as a parent, as an identity, again, each one of us has our favorite identity we are very attached to, and it's not our full existence. It's just a role. Parent is a role we are playing in this current life. So when I get very attached to being a parent, automatically lot of insecurities arise, because each of these identities, I on my own cannot defend its existence, its honor, right? So if I want to be called a very decent or a very good parent, I am automatically dependent on my kids, on my society, on my partner, so that as a parent, my honor remains high. But just on my own, very hard to be a successful parent. And that is why there is this constant fear that I, the parent, and my child, everything needs to be good. If everything is good with my child, then I, the parent, can be proud. I, the parent, can be happy. And if my child is not doing that good, and if somebody else's child is doing lot better, then I, the parent, cannot be proud, cannot be happy. automatically this consciousness leads to a lot of insecurities. It causes us many fears automatically. And when we are a soul's, like, very beautiful it's explained. And in one of the meditation classes that's been happening in the evening, where if the body's posture, the backbone's posture is not straight and aligned well, the whole body is in pain. It's in very uncomfortable and it causes a lot of discomfort, right? If the alignment of the backbone is not right. Similarly, when the soul is not experiencing peace, love, and happiness, it's misaligned. It makes us very restless. We are craving all the time to be happy, peaceful. And what are we doing? That's why watching the phone all the time, seeing if something interesting comes, I can laugh, or I can eat something so that I can feel a little bit of happiness, watch some funny thing on the TV so that I'll be happy, sleep it off, maybe then I'll be more peaceful. Every effort of ours is to align the soul to a comfortable position, which is peace, love, and happiness. And the soul is the one that is experiencing everything, but it's not able to experience consistent peace, love, and happiness when it is living in the consciousness of I am a parent. A limited existence, a limited identity will always generate insecurity. And that is why fear in us is increasing. And we have many limited identities we are attached to. I, the beautiful body, my skin is glowing, or my hair is pretty, my texture is this, and blah, blah. And we all know once the body starts aging, nothing will stay. So there comes the insecurity. I, the person at work, can do XYZ. After 10 years, I'm not that young anymore. More youngsters are coming, they have more better ideas. Insecurities again. Every identity that is just external will cause insecurity, and that is why we need to know the real self. And we will talk about that more in the vitamin section. But you know one of our biggest things is we need to be happy. And because we don't know how to be that naturally, many times our kids have to work hard so that I, the parent, can be happy. And here it was a job of the parent to give happiness and joy to the child. But then the parent becomes dependent on the child. Hey, child, you succeed. Hey, child, you do well. Hey, child, you stay safe, so that I, the parent, can then be happy. So instead of giving, we become beggars from our own children. We are wanting a lot of things so that I, the parent, can remain happy and comfortable. And many kinds of false beliefs, right? As your identity is false, there's a lot of false beliefs that we get attached to. As a parent, we start thinking only I can either make or break my child's future. It's a huge ego. It's a huge ego, and maybe we are not obviously consciously trying to be this kind of a person who's thinking like this, because even God does not interfere in anybody's destiny. It would be very problematic if somebody constantly interferes in our life. God does not interfere. God does not say I will break or make your destiny. But sometimes parents feel that they are the ones who will either make or break. And when we put that kind of pressure on ourselves, that's when a lot of fears start arising, and we start constantly thinking, oh my gosh, I've done this. What if this happens to the child? What if that happens? Because of me, this might happen to them. And because I didn't do this, this might happen. And that's where we start becoming a control freak, thinking we can really either create or destroy their destiny. And it's a fact that every child comes with their own destiny. Indeed, as a parent, as a facilitator, we have to take care. We need to make sure that they are safe and healthy. But having this ego that I am the one who's either really creating or destroying is a huge myth. In spite of our doing everything, whatever that child's destiny is, it will reveal itself. Um, and bottom line is, we can never be there anyways 24 by 7 with them. They have to become independent, they have to go through life. So when we start thinking we are the ones who can create or break, we start putting a lot of pressure on them, and then we expect them to be in many boundaries. And sometimes we have a lot of these things. My child is the innocent one, my child is the sweet one, my child is the weak one, my child is this, and that is why this child should not have to go through any difficulties. My child has done nothing wrong, he shouldn't have to go through any challenges. This is the kind of talk we have. But for me, really, and me and my husband both strongly believe, if the kids have to see challenges, it's good that they see it while they're living with the parents. So at least we are there as a moral support and as a guide to move them along. I will never ever, even if my kids talk about, sometimes they will talk about how tough it has been, how difficult it is, and how this is it, I will never sympathize. And it doesn't mean I don't feel concern or I don't feel their emotions. I do, but I refuse to ever let them feel that their life is miserable, that they shouldn't have to go through challenges. I always leave a message with them that yes, this seems challenging. Let's see how time unfolds itself, how life unfolds itself in time. Let's wait, let's see what it has to teach us, but never ever agree with them that their life is difficult. I said, no, without challenges, you won't be able to learn more. It's great. You're going through this. We are all here to support you. Let us know if you need anything. But never ever will I agree with them that their life is challenging, that they shouldn't have any challenges. Right, lot of times we immediately, when we say little bit of thing small, teacher is having unreasonable expectations, or one teacher has given them B when they should have received A, how much of anxiety and fear and all of those things we start creating. Overprotection is what it is called. I can break and make their destiny. No, really, we can't. And our biggest job is to make them strong and independent, to make sure that they learn the art of living happily no matter what challenge comes their way. That is the biggest responsibility of a parent. But many times, our attachment, my child, if my child is happy, obviously I will not be happy. So we will do anything to make sure that that happiness doesn't go away. But then when it goes, they're crying, obviously I will cry. Then who is going to help them become strong and come out of it? Oh, well, we don't know, but obviously my child is crying, so I also have to cry. This is attachment. This is not love. Love would never let someone cry and not do anything about it. We'll say, okay, no, I cry and do also something. Not really. Attachment is something which generates fear and sadness. And in that state of mind, you can't really be of great help. You will not be able to make the best decision to get your child out. So, damages from fear, important to understand. Um, in general, because we feel we are the only ones who can save our child or leave them unprotected, so we start really creating lot of boundaries on where the child should move and where they should not move. Makes us a control freak. And many teenagers hate it when their parents are such kind of control freaks. Don't try this subject, take this career, everything. There is a sense of control. Yes, as a parent, because we have experience and wisdom, we should certainly share and let them know. But there is a difference between sharing and controlling. And sometimes, even though we know for sure that their decision might be wrong, it's still good for them to take that decision and live life while we are along, staying with them, guiding them, right? So that once they realize that that decision was not right, we are still there to help them stabilize and come back into the right path. So, lot of times letting them make their own decisions is such a important thing, right? When we start taking over, we are preventing them from reaching their highest potential. Don't do this, this might happen. There are kids who want to try bungee jumping, skydiving. Many parents will not let their child do it. And yes, safety is important to check who is the one that is, where we are going and doing this kind of adventurous sports. But a lot of times the kids want to fly, explore, and many times parents themselves cut their wings, saying, no flying, it's not safe. Just sit, try the safest thing. Don't try these new fields, do engineering. This was the mindset in India, back in India, where we are told, either medicine or do engineering, at least when I was growing up. So if we continue to limit them, then yes, they can never reach their higher potential. They live a compromised life and they have lot of ill feelings towards the parent, that I could have, but I couldn't. And automatically, when you have lot of fear, we will instill lot of fear in the kids, and this results in lot of low confidence, right? If I have a lot of fear, and I had shared this story, but I think it's such a valuable story and it's worth repeating. Few years back here in Cupertino, there was a roadside accident where a teenager, high schooler boy, had lost his life on the spot. And all the parents decided to not send their kids walking or biking because of that incident. There was a lot of chaos and anger and frustration. Social media was on fire. So many people went and protested against the district and everything, that how can people drive, trucks are here, they're recklessly driving. And later we found out that that truck was just standing on the road to make a right turn, and this teenager had not noticed the truck, was on the headset, had a head on collision, and died on the spot. So many parents after that decided not to send their kids, like I said, on bike or on or walking, and they were driving them. And one of my friends also decided to do that, that she would drop and pick, and she was working very far off, driving with the traffic, starting so early from work so that she could pick her kids. And after 2 months, she gave up, saying, I can't keep up with it. But to me, the fear got instilled in the kid, that you are safe only when you are in my car. And when you are walking on your own, you are unsafe, unprotected. Anything can happen, anyone can hit you. This is the message that very subtly many parents instilled in their kids. And this fear is such a crippling virus. It spreads like hell. Really, I mean, it's only now on the road. Soon, during tests, during presentation, during uh, talking in front of many people, everything, fear will emerge. So it's such a deadly disease to give it to our kids. And automatically, where there is fear, the confidence is very low. What is fear? Fear is nothing but saying future is looking bleak, and whatever is coming my way, I don't think I can handle this. That is the definition of fear. I am not capable of taking care of what is coming my way. Future is looking dark. And it is one of the most negative energy. It is literally sending lot of negative vibes to the universe, where we are inviting, unknowingly inviting trouble to our life and also to our kids and families' life. Right? So every thought I am creating is radiating to the universe. And that same energy comes back to me. So if I am saying bad will happen, guess what? Eventually, when my thoughts become so strong and intense, bad will actually start happening. And I've seen some people who'll say, see, I told you this might go wrong and it went wrong. They somewhat take pride in predicting bad things, and when they happen, they take pride that, see, I told you this bad could happen. And I literally look at them and think, oh my gosh, taking pride in predicting all kinds of bad things and seeing them in reality, they feel a relief. How sad is that situation? We've gotten into the game of predicting what bad will happen in my life and in my kids' life. So, nobody goes to a saint or a pilgrimage to get bad vibrations, right? Why do we go to those places? So that we'll get some kind of good energy. They'll say, Tathastu, everything will be all right, don't worry. And then we come back thinking, oh gosh, I got nice, good vibrations. Everything is going to be good. I got a blessing. Here we are taught at Brahmakumaris every day, bless yourself. Say it'll be all right. Whatever it is, I will handle it. I will face it. I will learn. I will grow as a person. But refuse to say I can't handle it. It's going to be too much. No, I will learn. Whatever it is, I will figure it out. Maintain that faith, right? So we can either live a life where I'm constantly planning for the worst possible outcome, or I can say I don't want to think about what will happen. Nobody can predict future. Then why am I creating fear and predicting it to be bad, right? When future cannot be predicted, cannot be predicted. Fear is a way of predicting fear of future, and it is saying, I know it. It's going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. But nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And when we start, so visualize here, like suppose um, a friend of yours is going on a road trip on a very high mountain, on a very high mountain on a road trip, and they're going to be camping up there in the mountain top and everything. And they called you and they let you know. And that road is in general notorious, dangerous. And some people have also had accidents and they've fallen and this and that. And here you are, a person who's very fearful. You start creating all kind of fearful thoughts. Oh my gosh, why would they do this? This is so stupid of them to be even doing this. Couldn't they have gone to some other place which was more safe? And I'm creating all of these fearful thoughts. This is an energy that actually goes and reaches this person. And now this person suddenly, suppose, takes a wrong turn and is almost about to go and fall, and they for a second lose their faith, and they are creating fear. And if I am also sending fearful vibrations, what is going to happen? Am I really helping by creating fear? Love always empowers. We don't realize that our fear is actually crippling and making our loved ones weak. It's inviting trouble in their life. If we realize this fully, we would never create fear. But then we use another excuse saying, hey, I don't know, I can't control, my mind keeps thinking. Well, that is why before the mind gets into an even more worse situation where it starts imagining even more worse things about our kids, what all can go wrong in their future, it's good to take care, right? Take care of ourselves spiritually, emotionally. Especially in these times, we are seeing all kinds of things that never happened in the history are happening. Science has advanced so much, but still it's not been able to take care of all the natural calamities that have been happening all over the world. The kind of pandemic attack, the kind of politicians. If you look at the state of the world, it's in a very, very negative position. And if we don't take care as adults ourselves, it's very hard to live in this world which is constantly changing. And that change has not been very positive in this last few decades. I feel our grandparents didn't need so much of spirituality and religion as much as we do, because that time world didn't change at this fast pace. It was a much better place to live in. And but right now, the kind of things that are happening in this world, so important. It's a necessity. It's not a luxury to take care of ourselves spiritually. It's a necessity. Before things get very bad and our family is in a crisis and we are also weak, we can't be of any help. We will need help. But we have the time and luxury to enhance our spiritual well being, so that not only can we take care of in this changing times, but we also help our family by giving them that support, right? Whether it's the moral, emotional support. And vitamin F for curing fear. Yes, indeed, it has to be the truth, realizing the truth. And that comes automatically when we stabilize ourselves in that soul consciousness, that who am I the soul. And in general, fear, the antidote to it is really faith. And faith, if I here I'm just talk we're just talking about self and the child and God himself is truth. But really faith in the truth, that I am truth and I am walking the path of truth, everything will be fine. I will be able to take care of whatever comes. So, this is such a beautiful picture of a parent watching the child walk the impossible path, never refusing what the child might be capable of, never dismissing it, or never thinking this might not be possible for my child, this might be too much. Always maintaining that unshakable faith in the self and also in the child. I feel one of the biggest damages as parents we sometimes do is when we give up on our kids. They will never change. This sentence, the moment it comes, literally we should visualize we've created a curse for our child. At every moment, we need to maintain this faith. We might not know how, when, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. How and when we'll figure out. First thing is to maintain faith. Whatever it is, the child is beautiful, they'll come out. They will work through this. This faith is the only antidote. And we are not talking about blind faith where we let our child do all kinds of unsafe or unhealthy things. No, wherever as a parent we need to take the charge and watch and control, that is a different story. So we are not talking about blind faith, but literally a faith in goodness overall and in ourselves. So many times as a parent, especially for the first child, we are quite nervous that am I doing the right thing for my child, what will happen, what will not happen, and so on. And this ego in us will not want us to make a single mistake, be very sad at even a small failure. And humility really teaches us that it's okay, it's good to make mistakes, learn from it, and grow. Never have this ego that I shouldn't have done this for my child, I ruined my kid's life, or I could have been a better parent. The moment we realize the sun has risen, let's make the change, leave the past and move on, right? So always maintaining that faith, no matter how many mistakes we've made as a parent, still maintain that faith that I will learn and become better. And I have acknowledge all the good things you have already learned. And again, like we already talked about, maintain this faith in the child as well, that they will learn and they will grow, instead of creating lot of fear that what might happen. The biggest thing that finishes a lot of fear is when we give up this ego that I the one can create or break child's destiny. And when we understand the child is also a soul, and each soul comes with their own karma, if you want to call it karmic accounts, which is their good deeds and their bad deeds. And those good deeds are the biggest layer of protection that every child has, every soul has. That's the only thing that really provides them that cushion. So we should never really have this ego that I created this child, this successful child, or I did this for my child, and so on. Really, it's good to always be humble and say, my gosh, my child's beautiful karma and beautiful life. And yes, I was lucky enough to be there as an instrument to facilitate this. But it was everything was just the child and child alone. I was just a simple facilitator, right? So it's good to become that humble. Humility finishes fear. Humility is basically nothing but living in the form of truth, right? It's truth that enables us to become humble, and it's the truth. It's the truth that child comes with their own destiny. Every soul comes with their own destiny. And then finally, faith in God. This is such a um, powerful thing that I have worked on a lot. I've taken a lot of advantage of this. It's basically this unshakable faith in goodness, in truth. And whenever there is, especially when there is really everything is looking bleak, right? When things are not changing one after the other, some or the other problem is coming, then sometimes we lose faith in ourselves, in our kids' future, our own life, everything. That what is this? Why is this never ending? What is going on? For me, when because of this constant connection to Him, who is a soul, who thinks, feels, makes decisions, and when you connect to Him, you can catch His vibrations, His thoughts. It's so empowering to be living in an umbrella of protection from Him. So I just leave it that I don't know. My limited eyes cannot even see what is coming in the future, and I don't even want to see right now. It looks troublesome, but He's on my side. When the time comes, He will guide me and show me the best way to come out of this. But for now, I'm going to remain calm. So, he is considered to be the ocean of power, the ocean of truth and love. So, when you have someone so strong, so knowledgeable, and so loving on your side, all fears vanish. And yes, the experience for me is in the beginning, there was a lot of like this constant companion kind of thing who was always there to immediately protect. Now when you develop that relationship, many times he's on the side and you feel like he's not around, but you know that he's still there and watching you, right? And he's seeing, now that the child has grown, what will she do? Has she become more independent? So he's always there, and utilizing his help and maintaining faith in Him finishes this completely, because He's truth, and where there is truth, there is no fear. There's absolutely no fear. And this is one thing which is so prevalent in Brahmakumaris. You'll find every sister all over the world from India, who's some of them are not even graduates. They are running centers in foreign countries. Some of them didn't even know English. They've never even visited anywhere in India in a flight, and they are in all taking care of the centers all over the world fearlessly. Why? Because they are totally on the side of Him. So, yes, faith in God generates a lot of fearlessness, but it does require a lot of courage. Courage to not control anything. Many times I feel this is how I should solve the problem, this is how I should do it, and then I maintain my patience. No, I don't know. I have to wait for the right signal. And the way His plan and His vision is, we can never do it like that. So He has an unlimited vision, an unlimited plan, because He's always living in that spiritual dimension where He can see everything very clearly. So instead of trying to control anything, we need to have the courage to let go and let him take full control and figure out the way to fix it. So this is a beautiful image of God. Shiv Baba is what we call him, with lot of love. And just wanted, that's pretty much the end of our session, and happy to take question and answers after this. Just wanted to bring you to your attention, there are these two series starting in January. This one is a daily meditation series, 7:30 to 8, very helpful for people who are newbies into the Raj Yoga meditation. Most important in spiritual well-being is everyday knowledge and meditation. Without it, we cannot become healthy, right? Just like body, one day, 2 day, once a month, twice a month, or once a week you do it, it's not going to improve. So we do need that daily. So this is 1 month of program of showing how we can be a better version of yourself. And January is the month where we make a lot of resolutions. What better way to say that I'm going to be a better version in every sphere of my life? And then in January, we are also focusing here in the parenting class. We will talk about raising confident kids. So that will be the 5 week session every Sunday, same time. And that's about it. Wanted to see if you had any questions about this class. Also, there's links that Sister Pallavi has posted. Everything here is offered for free. And Brahmakumaris is a non-profit organization where every contribution is non-taxable or tax deductible. So you can feel, if you feel inspired and if you enjoyed what you've listened to so far, and you want to continue these programs from us, please offer your donation if you've benefited. And there's also a webinar coming on January 2nd of Who Am I? ABC of Who Am I? And there's also a Raj Yoga meditation course if you haven't taken. So that's also coming up. Any questions? No, no questions from any of the series. The ABCD, anger, we've done bondages, criticism, depression, ego, and fear. Any questions from the previous series? Sorry, I'm not able to hear if you all are talking. I don't see any questions either. Uh, if you have no questions, we can practice meditation for some time. All right, we'll practice meditation then. Oops, I see you. Um, so there's one question in the Q&A. So, sorry. So really, I mean, sometimes faith does require faith generally enables a lot of courage and also enables us to be patient. Sorry, I think someone is on. Can, if you're not talking, can you please mute yourself? So the question, um, sorry, the question is that even if you are courageous and have faith, still facing difficulties, what do you suggest? Um, so pretty much, I mean, sometimes, it does require us to be patient at times when things are not very clear. Because if fear helped in some way, right? If fear helped, then yes, we should always create it. We know it doesn't help. It basically takes away our ability to make a good and right decision. In fact, after some time, I've been practicing fear for a long time. It prevents us from making any kind of decision. We are so scared and fearful that if I do this, this might happen. And if I do that, this might happen. So I'd rather not take any decision at all. I'll be stuck in this problem mode forever. There are people who do that. They have to get a surgery done. They're so scared, if I do this might happen, if I don't do this that will happen. They're saying I'll live with this problem only forever. Why? Because of fear. So yes, sometimes it requires you to be little courageous and also patient, but we choose to be that because that's more beneficial than creating fear. Any other questions?
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you had some thought. I know it's not related to this topic, but I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on boredom, because that is one of the things I see very common with the kids, that they don't want to do something because they're bored. So I was just wondering if you had any thoughts for it.
Right, right. I think some of the times it's good to also do the group activities with the kids, right? Whether it is playing cards or some kind of board games, doing things together, engaging them with even cooking could be simple cooking stuff, even doing simple chores of the house together, whether it is gardening or laundry or whatever that might be, to make it a fun thing and slowly increase in that this kind of activities, right? Otherwise they're so used to that consumption mode, easy entertainment, right? Immediately eat chocolate and feel happy, or immediately watch something, immediately play something. This has become the new world where grandparents are also doing it, want instant happiness. And every time we do that instant thing, the soul loses its creativity, ability to create joy and happiness, ability to be entertained by itself. It needs constantly something to be engaged, right? We make it hyperactive by constantly exposing it. So, really take care in that so that they are not so overexposed to a lot of this instant gratification kind of things, and engage in these things which are little time consuming, require little work. And yes, there will be some resistance in the beginning, but as long as you try to make it fun and you are there with them, they will, because the soul eventually likes these kind of things. That's the quality of the soul. It's dying, but it exists.
Thanks, sister.
So there's another question about if we want to make a change, should we take the decision immediately or should we wait with faith for it to happen? So again, here, when we are, you know, in a situation where a decision needs to be made, we need to check whether I am very fearful of a one particular consequence, or am I thinking about the future and feeling negative or things like that. So when we are fear driven, then typically the decision will not be that right. So if the decision making can be delayed, if the situation is not very urgent, we should certainly wait and kind of do an introspection to understand the whole thing. Faith does not mean that I delay the decision making. It just means whatever I am thinking, there should be a sense of confidence in it, right? That faith in the self, that whatever decision I'm making is right. And even after making the decision, then even if this doubt comes that, hey, what if your decision was not right? That ability and that courage to say, whatever it is, I made the decision, my gut said it. If it turns out wrong, no problem. I will learn, I will change, I will maneuver the life as needed. That much courage we all should have. All right, we'll practice a minute or two of meditation and then end the session there. I am a being of light, eternal and imperishable. I have always been around. I can neither be created nor can I be destroyed. I am the child of truth, the ever fearless God. As a child of truth, I am fearless too. The words difficult, impossible, complex, hard don't exist in my dictionary. I have full faith in thyself. I, the human soul, has the ability to learn, improve, and grow. So I welcome every challenge, every difficulty, because it's only helping me grow and become a stronger person. Life and God are my companion, my mentors. I am fearless because I have God, the most powerful, knowledgeable, and loving being on my side. Thank you everyone for joining this series. Wish you all happy holidays and a happy new year. We'll hope to see you again next year with a new series.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.